Today, we are talking about the cost-effective way to convert Canadian dollars into US dollars within your brokerage account. If you've ever bought US stocks without doing this before, paid the 1 to 2% conversion rate fee that these brokerages are charging, that's on top of the currency exchange rate. So if you're tired of paying this, if you don't want to pay this in the future, I have the perfect solution for you, and it's called Norbert's Gambit. Now, if it sounds complex and complicated, we'll be breaking it down on a step-by-step basis, try and make it as easy and seamless as possible. I'll be reviewing it today in Questrade. It happens to be my preferred brokerage account. User experience is great. Low fees is even better. So if you want to sign up for that, I do have a link below, but by any means necessary, this is applicable across every single brokerage. You can use this process no matter if you're using TD, Scotia, RBC. It doesn't matter which one you want to use. But if this is your first time here, my name's Nick. Welcome to Ways to Wealth. Before we get into the video, I'd like to ask you a favor. If you learned something new, get some value out of the video, hit that like button for me. I would definitely appreciate that. If you haven't already, please consider hitting that subscribe button, turning that notification bell on. I would definitely appreciate that. Jumping in to the screen, we have my Questrade account up now, and I'm looking at a fund. It's called DLR.to, and this is going to be the fund that we start with purchasing. But before we really get into the nitty gritty, I've created an Excel document that kind of breaks down the differentiation and the process between, going through the traditional routes of the brokerage and this new Norbert Gambit process. So if it becomes complicated or complex, or I'm not explaining it properly, definitely drop me any questions or comments down below. I'll definitely try and address them as quickly as possible. And from here, if you want this Excel spreadsheet, which we're about to pop up, please let me know, and I can definitely send that to you. So what we'll do is we'll look at this spreadsheet. I'll try and break it down as quickly and seamless as possible. The first step is buying DLR.to. So when we know that, we understand that we're buying DLR.to. Now we want to figure out how much US or how much Canadian we actually want to go. So if the first thing is determining how much Canadian you want, you would just work out here in the shares section that's highlighted yellow to say, I'm looking at investing, 15,000. Well, you're going to have to just figure it out from there and see what it looks like. Okay, it's not 15. Just do some reverse math there and figure out what's the best way to get to 15,000. Or if you're looking at the US side of things, you're going to want to look at DLR.U and the price of 10.08 and figure out, okay, I want to invest 10,000 US. Well, how many shares of DLR.to am I going to have to buy? Let's say 1,000. So that would just give me over 10K US. Now that's just determining how much you want to get in terms of the opposite currency or how much Canadian you have to spend. So for me, I'm going to start with 100 shares just because I prefer odd lots, prefer even lots like the 100, 200. Can get into odd lot numbers, but then the fees might increase, but they're going to be inconsequential when you look at the grand scheme of things. So let's start with 1,242 invested based on the share price of 1242. So I come up here, and if I had not done this process, I can see that at 1.5%, traditionally they'd be charging me $18.63, or all the way up to potentially just less than 25. So I don't want to pay that on a percentage basis. That's way too much. So this is why Norbert's Gambit is going to be the best way to do it. Now, there are a little bit of time constraints in there, but let's go through the process and see if it's the right thing for you. So I've already decided, okay, I'm okay with getting $1,000 US. I'm going to go to my Questrade account. I'm going to go to the order entry. I'm putting in DLR.to. I'm putting in a limit order. I want to see if I can pick it up for, 1 cent less putting in my buy. I hit OK, and I can see here that it's going to charge me a 0.35 ETN fee. So super small. It's important to note that there is no commission for buying ETFs on Questrade. And if you do sign up with Questrade, below hitting my link, you'll get the first $50 in commissions for free. But just based on this example, there is no commission fee ever when you're buying an ETF in Questrade. So my cost off the hop is 0.35. So I'll send that order in, and my next step is to wait. I have to wait for the trade to settle. I'm waiting 2 days after the day that I purchase. So hypothetically, if I'm buying it on a Monday, I have to wait the Tuesday, the Wednesday, and then the Thursday. What's my next step, Nick? Well, the next step is you have to convert these shares to DLR.U. Now, I did mention it before, but DLR.U is the US version of this same ETF. So I'm going to pull up DLR.U, and you can see that it's trading for $10.08 right here. And this kind of works in the same way that the Canadian side does, just in US dollar conversion. So after the day that you buy and the 2 days after, 2 business days after, what you're going to do is you can either come to your account name up here, hit help, hit this little chat button here. It happens to be a weekend, so it's definitely not live. You're going to want to go to funding and transferring. And what you're going to ask is, please journal my 100 DLR.U shares to DLR.U.TO. Now they're going to ask you security questions and what account number that you want this to happen if you do happen to have multiple accounts. But that 100 is based on how many shares that you buy. So I've just denominated it there. You can also send an email to support@questrade.com. So that's to remember. You buy DLR.TO, wait the day, and then you wait 2 business days after for that trade to settle. You ask Questrade or your broker to journal those entries over to DLR.U. And then from there, you'll have to wait another 2 days for that to settle. So you're looking at 5 to 6 business days for this process. You're looking to get that money a little bit faster, looking to take advantage of an opportunity. This might not be the right thing for you, but if you're willing to wait, we'll see how that benefits you. So let's go back and take a look at the Excel here. And we can see that the commission was 0 based on buying DLR.TO. The ECN was 0.0035 per share. And from there, that gets you 100 shares of DLR.U once it's journaled over, which is just over $1,000 US. You can also see that the commission will be $4.95. That's the minimum. It's based on 0.01 per share, and you only pay commission when you sell. So there's only sell commission on an ETF in Questrade. It's $4.95 minimum, and then max at $9.95, which is better than a lot of different brokerages. I've also used BMO Investor Line. I know it's $9.95 per trade. That's on the buy and the sell side. But what you can see here is our total fees down here. So instead of paying $18 to $24, what we've done is we've paid just over $5.50. That's extremely beneficial. I mean, we can go and take a look at, what 1,000 shares would look like. You're saving a lot of money. This is, I believe the trade here would go to $9.95. Even if it did, max amount that we're paying is $16.95, whereas opposed a traditional brokerage would charge you upwards of almost $250. So it's the process of buying DLR.TO, the process of waiting, journaling with your broker saying, hey, can you convert these? Can you journal these to the DLRs.U? And then from there, it's selling the DLR.U after it's been journaled after those 2 days. And you will now have US dollars in your account. It's important to note and go through and make sure that the trade does settle in US dollars. But we can see here that the exchange rate on this alone was 1.23. If we go and take a look at what the exchange rate was today in the market, we can see based on Canadian dollars to US dollars, it was pulled up the wrong thing. Just give me a sec. We can see here that on the market right now, it's 1.23. So we've paid market rate. We've paid a small fee of under $20 for that big trade and $5.50 for that 100 share trade, which is a lot better than what the banks would be charging us. So again, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns about the way that maybe I've said things, leave them down below. I'll try and address them as soon as possible. I do this process all the time to convert. If you are interested in Questrade, if you'd like to sign up, I do have a link below. If you have any questions about Questrade, I can definitely answer them further. Want the Google spreadsheet to kind of help formulate and calculate what numbers you need to buy in terms of number of shares or what kind of currency numbers you need to get back, send me a message. I can definitely email it to you. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're still with me, I hope you got some value. If you're still here, hit that like button. I definitely appreciate that. Consider hitting the subscribe button. I hope you all have a great week in the markets. Happy trading.